Hello folks, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a book review. I'm going to try to start doing that pretty regularly because there's so many books out there about diet, lifestyle, medications, medical conditions that it's really hard to know which ones you should listen to and which ones you can safely ignore. So today I'm going to be doing a book review about the Paleo Thyroid Solution by Miss Elle Russ. I read this book a few months back and it really is an eye-opener if you're a doctor or if you're a patient. She basically suffered for years with a low thyroid, hypothyroidism, and went to multiple doctors. And all these doctors would check one or two thyroid lab tests. Some wouldn't check any thyroid labs at all. And they would tell her, no, honey, it's all in your head. Just take this Prozac, or it's this or that, or you need to exercise more, or you need to cut back on calories. They gave her all this really great advice. Sarcasm. And basically she got sick and tired of this and decided to just fix it on her own. And so this book kind of chronicles her journey through the medical maze, figuring out what the heck to do for her thyroid condition, which every doctor she saw up to a point said she didn't have. And so you get her complete story as far as that goes, which is very interesting and very embarrassing for me as a physician, that there are doctors out there who treated her like they treated her. It's mortifying, actually. I'm really ashamed to be a doctor when I hear about doctors who act like that. But she basically had to become her own expert because the doctors would not take her seriously, which was ridiculous because if you know Elle at all, you tend to take her seriously. The book goes into very good detail in layman's terms about the thyroid, how it works, if it's higher, if it's low, what are the symptoms, what labs should actually be checked. She talks about what labs they usually check, but also what labs actually need to be checked, and those are very different things. She talks about the different diagnoses and also the different treatments. There's multiple different medications that you can use for hypothyroidism, which is what the book's predominantly about. Anywhere from the fake synthroid levothyroxine, which is fake T4, over to the better treatments, which are Armor, Nature, and WP-throid. Those medicines are much better for you overall than just the fake T4. She goes into that in pretty good detail. She's quite hard on doctors in this book, but it's absolutely justifiable that she is so. She talks about primary care doctors, that's what I do, who either fake it and pretend like they know, but they don't, or they just say, I don't know, and refer you. And then you get referred to an endocrinologist, and endocrinologists tend to live in some kind of big pharma-sponsored fairyland. I'm not even sure what they're thinking when they see somebody like Elle Russ with hypothyroidism, but all they want to do is put her on fake T4, and so that doesn't fix the problem. So she goes into that in some detail, and she's pretty hard on docs. So docs, if you read this book, you need to have a thick skin and not be a baby about it, because you know what she's saying is true. She talks about, like I said, the medications, which ones really worked for her and which ones didn't work at all. That may be different for you if you have hypothyroidism, but at least you've got the information when you go see your doctor. Okay, there are 2 chapters about the paleo primal lifestyle, which is really great. Now, this is not a recipe book. This is not a step-by-step how-to. That's not what this is. This is more about the theory of paleo primal, how it helps your thyroid or how it can harm your thyroid if you're not following it. There are 2 appendices at the back of the book which are amazing. It's worth the cost of the book just to have the 2 appendices. Appendix 1 is an in-depth interview with a doctor by the name of Gary Forsman. He's an internist who's really specialized in integrative medicine, and she questions him and picks his brain, and you get his full medical knowledge when it comes to thyroid and hypothyroidism, and it's really a great chapter to read for a doctor who's not in the know, or for a patient who needs to know because their doctor's not in the know. And then the second appendix, it has tons of paleo and primal resources, has podcast lists, it has website resources, it has books that you should read if you're really into this. Overall, I give this one of my highest recommendations, the Paleo Thyroid Solution by Elle Russ.